Hello everyone, this is GTA Failure. I'll explain what this series is in just a couple of minutes, but first I'll read some info from the wiki while we watch the opening cutscene. The Banshee that appears in this mission is a unique silver color. It cannot be found in regular gameplay and it cannot be obtained at a pay and spray. The bank scene takes place in a non-functional location and is used only for the introduction of GTA 3. Let's listen to Catalina here. So feel free to pause the video. You can read a bunch of the articles here, and I'll point out that the vehicles in this opening cutscene have no drivers. You can see clearly the police car coming up and the enforcer right behind it with no drivers inside. The civilian vehicles also don't have any drivers. That Rumpo apparently doesn't have a driver. It's hard for me to see that one. And then there'll be a Patriot in the foreground coming up that won't have a driver, that one. So the reason I wanted to listen to Catalina is that according to the wiki, Catalina does not have an accent in this cutscene. I don't know if I agree with that. I think she has an accent that's a little bit different from her usual accent, but you can be the judge of that one. Here's something I couldn't confirm on my own. It says the Enforcer is different from the Enforcer encountered during gameplay. It most closely resembles the Enforcer from Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Looks to me the same as the GTA 3 Enforcer through the rest of this game, but if you can find a difference, feel free to throw it in the comments. Something else I couldn't confirm on the PC version, for a split second, the edge of the game world can be seen near the end of the building during the scene where Catalina and Claude exit the bank. It will appear as a blue patch of sea and air. This is most likely due to the cutscene loading the graphics. If you can see this in my video, let me know the timestamp. I couldn't find anything like that. I'm playing this game on PC through Steam. So as this cutscene winds down, I'll read a little bit more from the wiki. Oh, this is the elderly Asian gentleman that is going to be involved in a mission later on in the game. That must have been one powerful kick from Claude to not just knock the police officer over, but also knock him out. So again, from the wiki, the mission title may be a reference to Patrick Henry's famous words, "Give me liberty or give me death," as well as the name of Liberty City. The first song that plays in the game is a song called Stripes Summer by a group called Bill Don't. As when the player enters any vehicle after the opening cutscene, head radio will play every time from the beginning of the audio track. There you can see the name of the first mission here, Give Me Liberty. Also, this is chronologically the first mission in the 3D universe by release order. That's kind of cool. Okay, so I'm going to show off a couple of quirks, oddities here in this first mission. So first of all, the fire here looks real, but it doesn't feel real, at least not to Claude. Typically, if you step into fire in this game, you will be on fire for, I don't know, 5 seconds or so, and you'll lose a lot of health, like 50 plus health points. But this fire is just for show. I guess they didn't want folks early in the game to die from fire, which is quite easy to do. I'm also going to demonstrate that these two police officers up here behave differently from the rest of the officers in the game. If you try to open the door of a police car with a police officer inside, you'll immediately get a 1-star wanted level, and the police officer will get out, thereby unlocking all the doors of the police car, and he'll try to come after you and bust you. But these police officers do not care at all. I'll also point out that you instantly fail any mission in which Claude dies. I intend to show off all the different failure states in all the missions of the game, but I'm not going to die in every mission just to show you that you fail when you die. This is a standard thing through all the missions. If you're on a mission when you die, regardless of how you die, you fail that mission. And you failed this particular mission if you destroy the Kuruma. So the Kuruma is this car here. Kuruma is actually just the Japanese word for car. And so I'm going to intentionally destroy this Kuruma just to get a different fail state, a different kind of text at the bottom other than the one we got when we died a moment ago. And it's interesting to me here that even though 8-Ball is going to be in this car when we push it off the edge of this exploded bridge, apparently it's going to take 8-Ball a few seconds to die, and he's not going to die until after the car is instantly destroyed by the water. So vehicle is wrecked. 8-Ball would be dead in a couple of seconds anyway, but we got the wrecked car fail state there. So something else, according to the wiki, for the first 2 minutes of the game, that is until 6 a.m., the player cannot gain a wanted level. So I have found this generally to be true, but I haven't found 6 a.m. to be the hard cutoff. So you're going to see me run over a bunch of pedestrians here, just trying to get a wanted level and failing to get a wanted level. So typically, if you run over like 3, maybe 4 pedestrians in rapid succession, you get a 1-star wanted level. And if you keep running over more pedestrians, you'll get a 2-star wanted level. But you can see here I've run over, I don't know, maybe that was 10 or so, and no wanted level at all. And here's a few more for good measure. Again, I'm assuming that the programmers just didn't want you to get into any kind of difficulty, any kind of trouble in the beginning of the game, just to let you get your wits about you. So here I saw a police car and I said, oh, let me try to jack that. So you could see I got a 1-star wanted level for just a second. Now I'm going to do like synchronized taking of this car with the police officer here. Eventually I figure out how to get him out of there. So like you can see the blinking 1-star. It should just be a solid 1-star. But again, I think the game is instantly clearing that 1-star wanted level. And instead of busting me, as soon as he opens this door, he just says, get out of my car. And then he takes off. There's a sale at the donut shop. Okay, so as we proceed with this mission, I'll say a little bit about what this series is about. So welcome to my true 100% plus series on GTA 3. Generally speaking, I have 3 goals for this series. Do everything in the game, more details on this in a few minutes. For each mission, share some interesting facts from the wiki. This is me failing to find the pay and spray here. I was 1 block too short. I haven't played this game in about a year, and I will get lost a little bit as I get my wits back about me. All right, so here's the pay and spray, and it costs $1,000 to pay and spray, and we get this message that doesn't make sense. So the no more freebies message is a reference to one of the early missions, maybe the second mission of the game, where you're supposed to take a car and then bring it to the pay and spray and then take it somewhere else. Here I'm trying to chase this officer just to, again, get a wanted level and see if I can get busted. So that no freebies message just didn't make sense to me, but I wanted to show it off. If you had $1,000 at this point in the game, you could get the car pay and spray. This Kuruma would get pay and sprayed. Finally, a wanted level, and I will just stay in the car. And as soon as he opens the door and grabs me, we get the standard busted, and 8 Ball says, see ya, I don't know this guy. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is reset, because one of my goals with this game is to play everything through. I'm going to restart, not reset, but I'm going to start a brand new game, but we'll skip the cutscene this time. I'm trying to play the whole game through and experience everything in the game and not have any deaths and not have any busteds. And I died and got busted intentionally here, but unintentionally in some future videos for sure. If I ever die or get busted, I'm just going to reload my previous save state and try to play a clean game all the way through. Okay, so I mentioned going to share some interesting facts from the wiki for each mission, trying to do everything in the game for each mission. And then finally, 3, demonstrate all fail states for each mission and complete many missions in unexpected or entertaining ways. That's the hope anyway. As I mentioned, trying not to die or get busted. Here I'm hopping into one of these police cars because that instantly gives you 5 shotgun shells, or adds 5 to however many shotgun shells you have. Those shotguns are going to spell bad news for 8 Ball in just a minute here. So I don't want to die. I don't want to get busted. I was considering also trying to have no mission fails during the playthrough, and if I ever fail, I would just reload the previous save state. But the fact is, I'm planning on getting all the unique vehicles that I can in this game, and doing that requires failing a number of missions. And so I'm just not going to worry about failing missions in this playthrough. Okay, something else I couldn't demonstrate. The wiki says that if you put the car in the garage and close the garage door with 8 Ball in the car, then the car blows up. So I never had that happen. So I'm going to blow it up myself. So if I don't know, I don't understand what's in the wiki there, but don't worry. So we got a different failure message there, right? It wasn't that the car is wrecked, it was that 8 Ball was toast. But he's reincarnated, alive and well, and he does not seem to hold a grudge against us. So all good. Okay, coming back to generally talking about the series, I'm planning on not using mods or glitches or cheats or anything like that. I'm playing the vanilla version of this game on my PC through Steam, except I do have a quick save program installed, and I'll use that quick save program, which allows you to save anytime you're not in a car or on a mission, as opposed to only being able to save at one of your safe houses. And there's only 3 safe houses in the game, and only this one that we're headed to right now is unlocked at this point early in the game. So I will use the quick save program, but other than that, no mods. Except I do have like a brighter car mod installed here. I like how the door just automatically opens up when you hop on the blue marker here. That's pretty fancy for back in 2001. So this is the tutorial telling you how to save, and it'll show you the empty garage, except it's not empty. The Kuruma that we blew 8-ball up in is there, and it's repaired, and it's fantastic. And I talked about unique vehicles, and this Kuruma is one of those unique vehicles. Every car has a certain palette set in the game. And so if you take a car and you bring it to the pay and spray, you will randomly get one of the colors from that palette set. Here I'm going to go through the marker just to show you the difference between this and the definitive edition. The definitive edition markers will just stop you in your tracks regardless of how fast you're going. But in GTA 3, you got to earn it. You got to stop in the blue marker. So I'll let the cutscene play through here, but I'll just kind of keep chatting about the series. So I was talking about the unique color. So this Kuruma in this particular mission is not from the standard Kuruma palette color set from this game. So the only way to get this teal colored Kuruma is to grab it from this mission. And so I don't know why it stays in the garage after I blow it up with the shotgun with 8-ball in it. I couldn't get it to work consistently. I had it disappear most of the time that I tried, so I don't know exactly what makes it work or what makes it not work. It's far easier to just take the Kuruma. If you really want this unique colored teal Kuruma, you could just take it after this cutscene and just put it right back in your garage. You don't need to have the Kuruma anymore. And in fact, destroying the Kuruma at this point doesn't fail the mission at all. This is kind of an interesting mission in that it's multi-part. It's one of the few multi-part missions in GTA 3 that I know of. I know Bomb to Base 1 and 2, has 2 parts, and you can't kind of leave the first. You can't leave the mission without completing both the first part and the second part once you've started it. This is just me driving back to the safe house, demonstrating that this is a very easy time where you could consistently get the Kuruma and just store it in your garage and keep this unique colored teal Kuruma for whenever you'd like to use it later. There's nothing special about it other than the fact that you can't get this specific color at any other point. Just like that silver Banshee in the opening cutscene driving in front of the bank. A unique color and not part of the Banshee color palette. Okay, so we're doing Luigi's Girls. And so the goal here is to go pick up Misty. And there's, like I said, a bunch of different fail states for this bunch of different fail states for all the missions of the game, and for this particular mission, killing poor Misty results in mission fail. And there it is, Misty is fender meat. What's interesting to me is that it doesn't start us back off at the beginning of the Luigi's Girls mission, nor does it start us at the beginning of the game right on the broken bridge. It starts us here. It's weird. Like, we've already done this, and we've already gone to the next blue marker and gone through that cutscene. So I don't know why it puts us back there, but anyway, it does. So coming back to the series in general, so as I mentioned, generally refraining from glitches and cheats, but occasionally I'll relax this restriction for entertainment purposes. For example, I plan on briefly using a cheat, not in this next video, but in the one after that, video number 3 in this series. Okay, so one of the 3 goals is to do everything in the game. So of course that will include getting 100% completion according to the in-game percentage tracker, but I have lots of ideas for tasks that aren't required but that I'm going to do anyway just to really experience everything in this game. For example, the game keeps track of the player's criminal rating. I don't know how it keeps track. I have to do some research on what those points mean and how many you need to get up to the highest rank, which is boss. Here's something interesting. So I'm going to head over to Misty. I'm going to hop out of my car early, and I'm going to walk over to her. And she's going to ignore me totally and say, give me some social distance, bud. We're in a pandemic. I punch her. She doesn't care. Nothing happens. So she only recognizes you if you're in a car. It doesn't have to be the Kuruma. Any car is fine. And so as soon as she starts walking to the car, I'm going to hop out just to demonstrate she's intent on getting in the car. And she'll stay in there until the cows come home, So if you want to get her out of the car, you got to hop in yourself and then get out, and then she'll follow you as soon as you get out of the car from this point. So what you're supposed to do is take the short drive over to Luigi's. That's where we got into the most recent blue marker. But like Liberty City has fine public transportation options, and so I just thought we would demonstrate one of those here. So sometimes Misty gets stuck on things. There goes the subway right now, but we get her up here. Come on. I did experiment trying to get Misty on top of one of these L trains, and I was able to do it. But if you've ever been on top of one of these trains, the train takes about a minute to come. If you've ever been on top of one of the subways here in GTA 3, you'll know that as soon as it starts moving, you kind of slide all over the place, and you need to actively do work if you're going to continue riding the train as it's moving. And I tried getting Misty up there, and I did, but then she fell off almost instantly when the train started moving. So we're just going to see if we can get Misty to join us in the train instead. More standard train behavior. Okay, something I didn't know, again from the wiki, the 3 Portland L train stations are named after GTA 3 programmers. All right, so here we are getting in. Let's see. She looks like she's going to follow. And then, I don't know if you saw, but she kind of teleported very rapidly to the left. So I don't have much control of the camera. That's what I'm kind of demonstrating there with the up-down motion. But can you see Misty? Sort of like, where's Waldo? For whatever reason, she heads over to the other set of doors in the same train. I don't know why. Okay, so again from the wiki, we just got in at the St. Mark's train station called the Bailey Station, named after 3D artist Kieran Bailey. We're going to hop off at the Hepburn Heights Station, which is called Rothwell Station, named after designer Chris Rothwell. Okay, so I'm coming out, and she's coming out too. Perfect. Nice little ride on the subway. And then there's one more station. It's in Chinatown. It's called the Kurowski Station, and it's named after writer and auto designer Paul Kurowski. Cool. I don't know where the names of the stations are. Like, I haven't actually seen them in the game, like if they're displayed someplace. I'm not sure. Okay, but it's a beautiful day out, so we're just going to take a nice little stroll and head back to Luigi's to finish the mission. Okay, so coming back to like I said, trying to do everything in the game. So I might try to get to that boss criminal rating, even though it's not required for 100%. Maybe I do 12 levels of paramedic on each island instead of just doing 12 levels of paramedic on one island, which is all that's required for 100% in-game completion. I have other ideas as well for my task list, but if anything comes to mind, put it in the comments. Maybe we can make a fun task list together. I'm open to all reasonable suggestions. I might even be open to some unreasonable ones. I'm also planning on doing as many of the in-game 100% completion tasks as I can before I complete any other story missions after this one right here. Technically, I could do hidden packages now and unique jumps, but I just decided to complete this particular mission, which really opens the game up in a new way. How did I come up with the idea for the series? I totally stole it. There's a GTA speedrunner named Joshimus who did a series just like this one, but for San Andreas. His series is linked below. I emailed Josh asking if I could borrow very liberally from his San Andreas ideas, and he said sure. So credit where credit is due. Many of the things that I'll do in this series are taken straight from Josh's San Andreas series. If you have any feedback for me on the series or ideas for tasks I should consider, or if I said anything incorrect here, please drop me a note right in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.